You won't get rid of anxiety until, did you know that there's 3 things that you can focus on that will help you get rid of anxiety? So why do I suggest that all you have to do is focus on something? Because at its core, anxiety, the idea of it is that you are focusing on something that you don't want. So by the end of this audio, not only will you know what to focus on, you'll also know how to do this. So then you can start to think, what if I didn't have anxiety? What if instead I felt different things that allowed me to create what I want? My name's Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so you can achieve success. And success is here, and you might as well be ready for it. And one of the easiest ways to be ready for it is to focus on what you want. So like I said, anxiety, the idea of it is you were telling your mind to focus on something that you do not want. You're worried about something that hasn't even happened in the future. You have limiting beliefs about something that hasn't happened in the future. So there's 3 things that you can easily and effortlessly focus on so your anxiety automatically and naturally begins to fade away. And you may find as you listen to this audio that you are ready and already notice that your anxiety is going away. So what's the first thing that you can focus on? The first thing that you can focus on is something that you really, really want to do. So focus on something that you really, really want to do. I'm sure, since you're an intelligent person, there's something that you really want to do, and this picture is in your mind. And maybe before you had anxiety, and the feeling with this picture in your mind isn't exactly what you wanted. So hold this picture of what you really, really want to do in your mind. Maybe it's something that you've been putting off. Maybe it's something that you wanted to do and you gave yourself excuses like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I really don't want to do this. Well, now is the time. Focus on something that you really, really want to do. And have that picture in your mind and sink into the good feelings. The good feelings that you want to have as you do this, as you know that you've already completed this. That's right, you have already completed it. What's that feeling that you want? And imagine sitting in that feeling, and that feeling is going through your whole body. Now, if you're anxious about this still and you have anxiety about this thing that you want to do, here's what you can do. You can imagine this thing that you want to do. Fast forward into the future and notice that you're 15 minutes after this thing was already completed. And notice how you feel instead. Notice what you want to do instead and how you feel instead and what you want to think instead. Pretty amazing how you can see that this is successfully completed. So this is the first thing that you want to focus on. You want to focus on that thing that you want to do. And like I said, if you still have anxiety as you focus on it, then you need to notice that this has already been completed. You can go out to 15 minutes after this was already completed and notice how you feel instead. That's right. You're doing excellent so far. Now, the second thing that you can focus on is focus on the people that you want to be around. I know when I had anxiety and I had fear of the future, fear of the unknown, I had either gotten out of relationships many years ago. Many years ago, I had anxiety because I had gotten out of a relationship. So I was actually around people. This was my decision. I made these choices. I was around people where I was living more in chaos than I would have liked. I was more in stress than I would have liked. I was having anxiety more than I would have liked. So think about the kind of people that you want to be around, the people that are going to be beneficial for you, and you're going to benefit them. Everyone is going to benefit in this situation. Because if you're around people who are supporting you and you're supporting them and they're thinking like you and you're thinking like them, chances are it's going to be pretty hard to have any anxiety, is it? So if you think about it, I'm sure you've met someone before. I know I have. And they're telling you all these things that they don't want about their current situation. However, if you think about it, all the things that they have currently, they were probably wishing for a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now they have them. So many people were already achieving so many things that we want to achieve. However, we're focusing again on what we don't want. And that brings the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm, the burnout, all these things that we don't want. So, how can you actually do this? Think about the qualities, the attributes, the characteristics, the things that these people are going to be doing, and write down at least 25 things of the people that you want to have around you. Now, you can design anyone. You can design colleagues. You can design friends. You can design a future spouse. You can design people that you already know in your family. You can design friends that you already know, and think about, well, how can this relationship evolve? How can we feel better and achieve more together? What attributes, what characteristics? Now, the thing to consider about this is if you're going to be asking for all these things and designing all of these things about other people, is you need to ask yourself, are you ready? And I always say at the beginning of these audios, be ready for success, because success is here. So if you're asking for certain attributes and characteristics, ask yourself, is this something you're willing to do on the inside of yourself? So when these people appear in your reality, you're ready. And that means you're focusing on what you want. So that's the second thing. So really, all these things are about focusing on what you want. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So the third thing, I want you to focus on, so you can get rid of your anxiety, focus on something that you really, really want to buy that you maybe haven't bought yet. So something that you can buy with money, something that you've been putting off. Maybe you gave yourself excuses. So if you think about it, what does this do? Well, if you have a goal and you're thinking about things that you can buy, when you complete a goal, because you're so good at focusing on what you want now, you can now buy this thing to reward yourself. And this shows your unconscious mind that you're motivated, that you're focusing on what you want, and achieving this goal is going to be a pleasurable thing for you because you're going to be focusing on what you want. When you're focusing on this thing that you want to obtain as you're working on your goal, chances are you're not going to have doubts, you're not going to be worried, you're not going to be stressed, you're not going to have anxiety, because you're going to hold a picture in your mind of what you want with the goal and a picture in your mind of that thing, that reward that you're going to have. So, this audio gives you 3 ways that you can focus on something else. And not only that, I'm telling you how. You could do it a lot of things. They share, hey, this is what it is, this is what anxiety is, but I'm telling you exactly how you can actually do this. Now, that doesn't mean there's many clients that I've had. Sometimes they think, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get this thing? How am I going to design these people around me? Don't worry so much about the how. Write the attributes. Think of the reward. Think of that thing that you always wanted to do, and put that out there with a good intention, with a good feeling, and allow it to come to you. Let go of the outcome. You already know how to do it. You already put that information, that frequency out into the universe, and allow it to come to you. Because maybe as you design that specific person, all of a sudden you have a new friend in your reality, and that person is the one who helps you get that thing, or helps you do that thing that you always wanted to do. So you don't have to worry about the how. Just enjoy your reality that you're creating because you're focusing on what you want. Definitely share this with someone who will benefit. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. It really helps me keep making content every single week. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.